Our first panel is it's a pleasure for me to welcome Captain Ryan Kuhls. Captain Kuhls works for the Wounded Warrior Project, among the most respected charities providing services to those wounded while serving abroad. He's currently the project manager of Warriors to Work program. And also James Raffetto, a Navy corpsman. James Raffetto was wounded by an explosion in Afghanistan, which cost him 3 of his limbs. Gentlemen, thank you for your service and your sacrifice, and thanks for being here. First, if we could, talk about your experience and tell us your story. James, let's start with you.
Well, let's see. I was a corpsman for a Marine platoon over in Afghanistan. We were doing a routine patrol, clearing houses, and as we were exiting one of the empty compounds over there, I took a step on a pressure plate, detonated an IED. Luckily, my Marines got on me just quickly enough to stop any extreme blood loss, and actually made a makeshift tourniquet for my right leg because the tourniquets they were using kept breaking. So thankfully, they were able to fix me up, and I was conscious, so I was able to talk them through it too, which was a big help. So
it's amazing. Ryan?
I was in Iraq from February to November of 2005, returning from early morning patrol on November 29th of 2005. My vehicle was struck by an improvised explosive device, which severed my left leg and right arm, and worst of all, killed both the other soldiers that were in the truck with me. And then from the scene went to Baghdad, to Landstuhl, and to Walter Reed to start the recovery process.
James, what people may not fully appreciate is how many folks are affected in the military by these explosions. And we're better in the field about saving people's lives. But when you have to deal with this, tell us about, from your experience, what the rehabilitation process has been, what, after you got back.
The process itself, and I feel I've been very lucky, I want to say, because so many guys come back home, and they have massive infections from the dust and from the explosions into their limbs. I myself received no infection, so I'm very happy about that. So I think my treatment is not exactly indicative of everyone's treatment, but I personally, when I got to Bethesda Hospital, minor physical therapy over there, just get my limbs going, range of motion, a little bit of movement. But it wasn't until I got to Walter Reed there that the real rehabilitation started. Mat work, making sure, working on my core, working on balance, and then getting fitted for prosthetics. I'm on short little legs right now. In practice, little stubs. I'm sure you dealt with that. Because a lot of it's just maintaining balance and the core strength to maintain the prosthetic.
With technology today, they're able to do a lot of things with those prosthetics.
It's incredible. The past 10 years, I think, have been an incredible advancement in prosthetics.
How do you want, Ryan, people to view Wounded Warriors? Is there, I'm sure you have people that come up to you and say, thank you for your service a lot. Or do you?
I've been very fortunate in the care and support that I received coming back, and for the vast majority of the warriors that coming back from today's conflicts have received has been overwhelming. My injuries are very visible. You can see I'm missing an arm and my leg is gone. It's the folks that have injuries that you can't see, whether it be PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, or traumatic brain injury, that have those invisible wounds that don't get that, pat on the back, thank you very much for your service, that I certainly worry about the most, because they go a little unappreciated for the folks that have those physical wounds. Certainly do get a lot of the support, though.
You're the project manager of the Warriors to Work program. Tell us about that.
Actually, I've transitioned into running the alumni program for Wounded Warrior Project. So all of the warriors that have transitioned out of the military. Once they're wounded, we consider them alumni. Making sure all those folks are staying in touch with each other, staying in touch with the organization, and then also making sure that folks that don't know about us are aware of what Wounded Warrior Project do.
I mean, how tough is that? Can you put in words how tough it is to come back from the field and try to plug back into normal life?
Well, being in a combat situation and then coming back to the civilian world, it really is two different worlds. Being in a place where you're in combat, your life's in danger at all time, and then coming back into the civilian sector where it's completely different. Having that shared experience with another warrior or service member certainly eases that transition and makes it much more successful.
James, you agree?
I do. I think the transition is very difficult, and being surrounded by those who also have gone through it is crucial.
What about your family support throughout this?
My family, I would say almost 100% of my rehabilitation, whether it be my positive attitude or actually my the physical leaps I've made, are due entirely to my wife. I mean, her.
And she's right over here, right?
Good. Her support. I mean, she's gone from not just wife to to caregiver. She's my non-medical attendant. She's actually been given that role, and she fulfills it completely because I don't know. From the time we get up to the time we go to sleep, she's making sure I'm good. And I'll say the same for my parents. Been fantastic. All my family have been great in keeping in touch. Everything from beginning to now. So apparently, the time I was put in a medically induced coma during my treatment from Afghanistan to here. So in those 6 days, apparently it was pretty busy for my family, but they took care of a lot while I was snoozing. So.
You knew as a corpsman the importance of the positive outlook about getting through it, but I'm sure you had some days that were extremely tough.
Of course, yeah. I mean, there's always ups and downs, but I got infected by my father in the sense that looking at the bright outlook on situations. I won't speak for anyone who has been injured, but most times I'm thankful for the injuries I didn't get. I mean, like you were saying, with traumatic brain injuries and spinal injuries and blindness, things like that are just such grievous injuries that I am thankful that I did not receive. So, and not to mention how, a negative attitude and thinking about what happened to me and being sad about it isn't going to help me. I got to move forward, not backwards. So.
That's amazing. On Veterans Day, it is a fantastic time to talk to folks like you who have given so much for this country. And thank you for your service and your sacrifice. Hopefully people tell you that all the time, but if not, they should.